All right, welcome to Uncle Legend's Corner. I'll be your host, Uncle Legend, and with me always is my beautiful co-host, Call Girl 6, better known as Fox, aka No Personal Space,
aka whatever. Hey y'all, what's up? So my voice
aka
is
Lou
coming back.
Rawls.
Lou Rawls, right? Blue from Temptation. So my voice is coming back. It sounds a whole lot better than last podcast, I think. Right? Maybe.
Yeah, you got it, Howlin' Jack.
So I'm getting better. Anyway, yeah, we back, y'all. What's up? What's going on in the chat?
What's happening? Hey, yo, so we live in well, most of y'all don't know, but so we in Southeast Georgia, Northeast Florida region. We recently moved back to Georgia, like almost 2 years ago?
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Well, it's me moving back to Georgia, her first time, because she's a Florida girl.
Born and raised.
You know what I'm saying? But only thing I wanted to talk about is, as far as that, I don't really fuck with politics, but yeah, the campaign of Herschel Walker is amazing to me. Because it puts something in perspective. I ain't getting into all of like, oh, well, Republicans should do this, Democrats should do that. Yeah, y'all can do whatever y'all want. I don't give a fuck about none of that. But the thing I found funny is it's only two things that matter in the South that trump everything else: God and football.
Mm-hmm.
And you had a man of God and a God of football going at it. You know what I'm saying? So it's that shit's wild to me when it's just like, yeah, I don't care about none of the rest of the stuff you did. I don't care about what nobody's saying.
The contrast.
Chris, what up, bro? It's like, yeah, I don't hear none of that. I don't care. This and that. All I want to know is, do you love God, football, or both? And you think about it in the South, one thing that we take for granted in other places, especially like up north, is like Friday night lights, shit like that. Whole shit gets shut down. Like it ain't nobody doing nothing. Like when the football game, like when the local high school play around here, everybody at the game, kids, adults, not us because we don't give a damn, but they there. And then like even when you go to the gun store will give you hours Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
But Sunday, that should just say church. Like that's all it is.
Can't get my wine on Sundays.
Yeah. You can't get your liquor can't get no liquor on the Sundays. Like, I mean, you can go on base though, because Lord knows the military. We gonna get our drinks.
That's right.
But yeah, old boy had a wild campaign, man. A lot of the stuff they showed about him with Walker, obviously he lost. But just a lot of stuff they put in the campaign was ridiculous, right? Like when they say he showed up to a debate with a fake badge.
Yeah, I remember that being black across the news.
And then just hearing him talk, I think he might have CTE.
So thank goodness he didn't win, though.
I mean, we fucked either way, but
I know.
In my opinion, but it just
kind of like it comes down to the lesser of two evils, right?
Yeah, in a way. That's my biggest issue with like politics in general is everything is the lesser of two evils. It's like we both going like one of us gonna punch you and the other one gonna punch you and kick you. So what you want? I just want to get punched. Like, how about you keep your fucking hands off me and actually help me or something, right? So politics is just filthy, you know. That shit make me I'm feeling dirty right now after I just got out the tub talking about that shit. What else, you know? But so you had an interesting topic to bring up.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine,
Miss Fox,
wanted to talk about this post that was going around here. Unpopular opinion: women also spend money on men, but they don't make noise like men.
Yeah, y'all voice ain't as deep.
Whatever.
Y'all do well. Yours is, but most women ain't. But
you gonna stop clowning me, okay? I'm getting better.
First of all, you gonna take that bass out your voice when you talk to your husband, because I'm telling you right now, it is only
we gonna see what you gonna say next week, okay?
I'm gonna say talk dirty to me right now. I want you to talk dirty to me. That shit is gonna say some. You gonna say some shit to me like double dribble, you know, holding, 5-yard penalty. Fuck out of here. Like shit ain't. But now, I'm not even buying that shit. Like women don't make what? Women don't make noise about men, about spending money on men?
That's right. That's right. I can definitely agree because first of all, men act like there's not women out there who spend money on men.
No.
That's number one.
No.
Okay.
No, that's an assumption made that people feel like since somebody bitching about something, that means that's the number one. That's the number one thing that ruins any conversation when somebody says something or brings up a valid point when people say, oh, but y'all act like this and that. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. So if that's a separate topic, what I'm saying, if that's a separate topic that you're saying like, oh, but you comparing it to men, right? Comparing it, women do. Women got, you could go through Twitter right now and just put in broke N-words and it's going to light up the screen of women talking about it. The term hobosexual was made, that wasn't for women, was it?
Listen, so that's the thing. Men gonna talk good or bad, right? If a woman says something, it's because of a wrong that was done to her. And it's more of the audacity, like the audacity of you to go and do this to me. The audacity of you to go and do this to me when you was living under my roof for X amount of years or whatever. Okay?
That's
the audacity. It's always about the audacity. It's not that we just going around like how many, well, I gave her this, I gave her that, I need some pussy. Oh, she's supposed to do this, she's supposed to do that for me because I gave her this and I gave her that.
Women women don't be having these wild ass expectations.
We're talking about men. We're talking about the noise y'all make just about doing something for someone. Right?
No, you said women don't make noise. That's a comment you make. Women don't make. Y'all make a lot of noise.
We don't make noise.
Make a lot of noise.
You guys are the ones that's making the noise about it.
No, that's because you're operating in the echo chamber with a. No, we're not doing this. Men and women be fussing about the broke ass opposite sex because the difference is when a woman does something, it's thought of like, oh, that's a bonus. Oh, that's nice. When a man do something, it's like that's what you're supposed to do.
What do you mean? What do you mean it starts off as a bonus? What
like if a woman decides like, oh, well, I'm gonna pay for the date. Oh, that shit's not expected. It's a bonus. That shit's like when I fold the laundry. That shit wasn't expected. It was a bonus. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so we don't go and say, "Oh, I paid for this day," or "I took him here and I took him there."
No, you just light up the group chat and talk shit about the man behind his back. At least this motherfucker gonna give you the heat into your face. Y'all in the group chat like, "This broke ass girl, I had to do this and that. Da, 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 da. He ain't on that PS5 and blah 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 blah. He ain't doing this and that." That's 1,000% true. Keep it a butt. That's why you over there like, let me look at the phone and look at another comment or something.
Let me
read some of these triple B comments.
Anyway,
from the Bitter Bitch Bureau. Go ahead.
This is not no Bitter Bitch Bureau, okay? It says, I feel like women who spend money on men would like for it to be reciprocated. Which is true. Loved and appreciated. We don't expect sex because we know we can get it from anywhere. Women only spend money on men they actually like, want to be with, or love. I feel like a lot of men, not all, spend money just to reap a sexual benefit or control. And I do agree with that.
Yeah. So
you mean so
like you just made it's perfectly obvious that a woman can go out and she can go and do whatever she wants. Like if she want to have sex, she want to do anything else, this and that, easy day. You go, me and you go to the club right now. There's a 99.9% chance we both go in there and say, yo, we about to go have sex. 99% chance that you about to get some dick. 25% chance that I'm gonna get some pussy.
So what? So that's not our fault.
Nothing's your fault because you're a woman. the whole patriarchy of the world is all men's fault. But what we're gonna talk about is that
y'all weak in y'all spirit.
Okay, cool. Weak in spirit. You know what happened? You know what happened when the men start saying that they ain't paying for shit because they ain't weak in their spirits no more, going out here for some broke ass bras. Then y'all feel like he this and that.
It's a lot of women that can take care of themselves.
That's fine. Do it.
And you'd be surprised, some of these women out here who said they didn't want men to take care of them, they can actually take care of themselves.
I mean, yeah, that's even worse. Yeah. This is the difference. When a man do something, if a man don't got his shit together, he don't got his shit together. Women be bragging about being adults. Like flat out being, I got my own place, I got my own car, I got my own job. Congratulations, you're 35.
So
congratulations, you're a fucking adult.
It's because we have been oppressed for so long.
When was you oppressed? When were you oppressed?
Women.
No.
Let's
talk about
women. No, we just talking about the reason why it's like this. It's a big accomplishment for us to do these things.
So let's talk about this.
Because in the world where we live in now,
in a far off place where this conversation makes sense.
Right. It does make sense. because we have been oppressed for so long, right? Women couldn't work, women couldn't do all these different things. We were told we couldn't, we are property, first of all. So now that kind of just trickled along. It's important for us to go out and educate ourselves.
Nothing, huh? Y'all couldn't vote or nothing, right?
No, it's important for us to go out and educate ourselves. It's important for us to go out and take care of ourselves because we were always what was our jobs back then? What, homemakers? That's it.
So
we don't want to always be damn homemakers. But the homemakers didn't want to be homemakers.
How do you know what they wanted to be?
What
now you're a time traveler.
So you're telling me that every woman who was then in that era wanted to be a homemaker?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that
so there are some women who didn't.
Okay, you said the homemakers didn't want to be homemakers. I'm saying that that's not true. There are some homemakers that were happy being homemakers. I'm just saying that there's no validity in your 100% statement that you said that the homemakers didn't want to be homemakers. Some of them did. Okay, and just like it's just like when women say something about then. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. Nothing's really 100%. There's exceptions to every rule, but that doesn't change it. That's just like saying like, oh well, women couldn't vote. Women didn't want to vote. A lot of women didn't want to vote. You know what came with voting? The fucking draft. Well, nobody. Hey, I don't want to get shot at. No, I want to make cookies. I want to make cookies. You know what? If they had asked me, I would have also I would have wanted to make cookies, but my black ass would have been in the draft, getting called the N-word by the dude that I'm covering. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, the problem is that a lot of this shit get taken out of perspective, right? So a lot of things are taken out of perspective because it's like, oh, well, it's women that's taking care of men. They do. Women talk cold cash shit about men, this and that. And then it always comes back to this. Every argument is going to come back to this. Have discernment, make better choices. Because when a man say that, what's up, big sis? When a man say that, like about, oh, I had this woman, she ran off with my money, and she did this and that. The women don't say that's fucked up that she did that. They say, got to make better decisions, Kang. You know what I'm saying? You got to have better, so pick a better one. If you had to pick the good one, you want to go chase that woman with that big booty, this and that, da da da. Now, if y'all get y'all ass thumped and the dude take all of y'all money and all of that shit, when that happened, if we was to say something like, got to make better decisions, queen.
But y'all do say that.
Is it accepted? No, it's you fucking incels. This
I don't call about no incel.
1,000%. 1,000%. I'm telling you right now, you go on Twitter and search incel, you'll be reading that shit for the rest of your life. Like you'll be 93 years old just getting off Twitter. Like, ugh, that's crazy.
I know.
So what I'm saying is women make the same amount of noise when they talk about dudes not having their shit together and doing this and that. People make bad decisions and they go with bad people. Like, so when women decide this and they up here like, oh, I'm low in confidence, this and that, you are going to pay a price. Whenever you deal with somebody, you are going to pay a price. Everybody has to settle for something. Nobody gets exactly everything perfect that they want. You don't. So when you decide to outkick your coverage, is dudes like to call it, like when the dude be like, oh, I got a woman, shit 10. Okay, brother, we looking at you and you about a solid 3.5. You outkicked your coverage. You know what I mean? So it's going to be some shit that come with that. You know what I'm saying? Just like as a woman, it's like if you built like a bag of clothes and you look like me with a wig on, and you got yourself a Idris Elba or Aquaman or something like that, there's gonna be some shit that come with that. Jason, don't ever say another man. I knocked this whole shit over.
Okay, stop.
This is what Aquaman can't do. Shoot.
Just letting you know his name, okay?
I don't need to know his name because ain't neither one of us gonna be saying his name much longer.
What do you guys think in the chat right now? Let's see what it said.
Yeah, check yours too, because this shit been acting a little weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, it's like people try to make it sound like, oh well, women make a hella noise. Yo, I'm telling you right now, you trying to say that women don't be nagging?
I didn't say women don't nag.
Yeah, well, that's making noise.
About women nagging.
Yeah, that's making noise.
Talking about women going up in an uproar about what
they
done,
do.
This and that. No.
What dude made a song? I don't want no scrubs. There's literally songs about this shit about men not having money.
No, we're not talking about men having money. We're talking about what we do for men, gifting men, buying men things.
Okay.
I've never bragged about it. I've never said anything about or what I expected from a man from giving gifts to a man. And I've given plenty of gifts to men.
So I ain't even gonna do that to you. I ain't even gonna get personal about it. But okay, so let's just do this example. Would you say that you spent more money on men in your life than men have spent money on you?
No. No.
I'm just saying that this is the fucking point right there.
It doesn't matter. But look, in the comment read what? People that we actually like, love, or want to be with. All right.
Yeah, that's because y'all got the option to not spend money from the get-go.
No, first of all, you have an option too to not spend money.
How would
you
we have
that
win?
option.
How would we had to win on our first date if I didn't pay for it? You was gonna pay for it? Was I that cute?
So with your choices
no.
come consequences.
Okay, but no, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm saying,
I'm certain there's somebody out there, there's a woman out there who wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, and then she built like a bag of clothes and she looked like me.
It don't matter what she looked like.
So I made my choice. I wanted somebody.
There.
I wanted somebody that when I wake up to him, I don't think that I had a bad night of drinking. I want to wake up. I don't want to wake up to Magilla Gorilla. Like I don't like that. I don't want to see her eyelashes on one side of the room, and you know what I mean. Her makeup is like a whole face in the pillow. That's not what you want to see when you're doing your damn thing. You just look at the pillow and it's like, I look like Rorschach and shit like that. Nobody ain't trying to live like that. So it's like it comes with the decisions you make. The difference is men are just starting to get to the point because men getting a little sassy and they getting bitter and they starting to join the bitter bitch bureau. Yeah, men are getting sassy because it's like they get tired of hearing these same broke ass records. Well, men do this, men do that. Shut your bum ass up. Because it's like what we got to understand about life is that there's a double standard for everything. Because as a woman, think about this. Think about how crazy this is just from perspective. As a woman and a man, I meet you and I'm expected to. And this is what average woman expectation is. Now, we ain't even talking about superstars. We're talking about average woman expectation. I'm going to meet you. I'm going to hold the conversation. I'm going to interest you with conversation. I have to show my peacock feathers to get you interested just to go somewhere that I pay for. And I have to put time, effort, and everything into you just so you can find out whether or not you're going to fuck with me the long way or I'm about to get put in your rotation as the food dude or we never going to go on a date again.
So what would be your reason for doing all of that?
Because I like you.
Oh, because you like me.
And obviously, if I like you, I want to fuck.
So you're putting all that energy into that for that very reason, though.
Because we start off, no, it's because men, we start off visual. We start off visual. I don't know how dope your person. I don't start off.
I hate when people say that, especially men. Okay, we start out visual. You don't think that we visual? You don't think that we want to see abs and chest and cute smiles, sexy eyes, dimples, and all that stuff? Yes.
Yeah, I know. Y'all do.
So
y'all want everything.
Men start out visual. That's bull crap because everyone has eyes. So we're going to go with what's appeasing to our eyes.
And I understand that. The difference is men, we look at that because the fact of the matter is there's a 90% chance the prettier you are, the less funny you are. You're not like it's just like we're not meant to be. That's why girls have girlfriends and men have homeboys because we're not supposed to like I told you, you're not my best friend. You're my greatest friend I have, point blank period. Me and you against the entire fucking world. But you are not my best friend. You are not my funniest friend. You are not the coolest friend. You are my greatest friend and the most important friend on God's green earth. But there are different categories because of the fact that me and you ain't like think about all the things that I'm in. 90% of the stuff that I'm interested in and 90% of the stuff you're interested in, we only entertain because we love each other. Y'all don't really give a fuck about guns. No,
I know. I don't need.
That was your spirit that said that. No,
to protect
and you don't
myself.
even do that. You don't even take. You just use me. I'm your damn shield. You just up here like, hey, babe, come with me to the store in case some shit get wicked. Like you don't even.
I can protect me. Range on 17. All right, that's another conversation, sir.
And
no,
we're gonna be in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, vice president of the gun club. Handle that because I'm gonna be out of the continental U.S. But yeah, so it's like women do make noise. The point of the comment said women don't be making the noise that men do. They do. Women do make that noise. The thing is, the comment, what is really trying to say, in my opinion, is trying to say men act like they don't be like men act like they make a whole bunch of noise about it and women don't make as much noise. And it's not true. They make noise. The fact of the matter is, it's just one of them things where it's like, just like you said, it's like the audacity of y'all to say that, like y'all don't be doing this and that, We don't be fussing about this. It's a whole lot of shit. We can go around the other way and be like, well, we don't be doing this and we don't be doing like all of that shit's pointless. We are different. Like when it's got to come to a point in time where men and women are just going to understand there are double standards because we're different.
Okay, we can have double standards and we can be different, but the thing is to know who is going to know where we're different at, because we might feel that we're the same in certain areas. You might feel you're the same in certain areas.
Well, we got to have conversations that aren't just like filled with fucking insults. Like, it's just like any other conversation that you got to have. You want to have a conversation about politics, you have to have two people that's willing to have a realistic conversation without fucking getting without getting too passionate. And by too passionate, I mean disrespectful or screaming and yelling and shit like that. It's the same thing with men and women. Instead of like, we don't have conversations for understanding, we have conversations to prove a point. Like, I understand the point of saying that, like,
does need to be proven, though. There's a point need to be proven as well as understanding.
So if you want to win, if you want to get people to understand you, what happens when you shut down their point and prove and just go to prove your point and beat it home? That's how you radicalize people.
Well, we didn't say shut it down. You can say what you're going to say and make your point as well, but there are points to be proven when you're having a discussion.
It's not about trying like, that's the problem when you look at it that way. It's not trying to proving a point goes into that whole thing about being right or wrong. It's just like we say when we get to it's not about us being right or wrong, right? It's about us understanding the other person. We're not trying to prove a point, because when we tried to prove a point before, that used to end up when we'd argue all the fucking time. But now that we get to a point, we had discussions where we're just like, hey, I just want you to understand how I feel. I'm not saying agree with it. I'm not saying say this was the best way to handle it. I just want you to understand how I got from point A to point B. And once we started once we start conversing like that, we wound up getting to better conclusions in our conversations, right?
Yes, but listen. So if we have these conversations,
let me bring up my Facebook because you was not doing a good job.
I am. If we have these conversations, right? My thing is, everybody can go for their own understanding and whatever it is each person is trying to convey, right? Then what? What do we do after that? So you can have the conversations all day. It's just talking. So now who's going to actually do the application? Who's going to apply whatever it is that we've talked about, that we've learned, that we've gathered? Who is actually going to do those things?
The people who have skin in the game that you should actually be having a conversation with. 90% of people ain't worth having a conversation with. They don't got no skin in the game. Like, for instance, to sit here and have a conversation. I'm not going to sit here and like give relationship advice or something like that, because one, is a million reasons why women won't listen. There's a million reasons why men won't listen. The person I'm going to give relationship advice to is my wife. Just like you're going to give relationship advice to me, because we have skin in the game. We have a vested interest in our shit going good. Other people don't. So what happens is we sit here and we make these points and do this. You're making them to people that don't care. We're on the internet talking to people on the internet who's sitting there with fingers, just cuticle nail beds filled with Cheeto dust, sitting there typing whatever gets to their mind, just projecting all of their insecurities and every wrong thing that ever happened to them. All for what? So it's like, what's going to change? Nothing going to change. And I'm going to tell you right now, men and women as a whole are completely and utterly fucked until we have like a damn near extinction level event. Like, I'm talking about like a war that like cripples, like, I ain't talking about depression. I'm talking about cripples the fucking economy to a point where people need each other. Because the point of the matter is, men and women don't understand each other's value anymore. And we think we can set our own value. We think we can set our own value and then also set the other person's value.
I can 100% agree with that. We don't know each other's value. And I think that's where a lot of this stuff get lost in translation.
Because my thing about it is this. It's just like I told you. My true belief is that femininity is y'all superpower. You can't outman me. Like, you're not louder than me. You're not stronger than me. You're not more physical than me. None of that shit is going to work trying to get your point across to me. But when you come across to me feminine, you get your way. When you come across feminine, when you try to meet me with fire, it's like, oh, I could do this all day. It's just like I told you, when you want to do something and then you get sad, when I'd say no, that hurts me. When you get mad and be like, well, I want to do this and that. Well, fuck it. Let's fuss then. Let's fucking fuss then. Come on put them up. Because I'm ready to deal with fire. I'm a man. When you meet me with masculine energy, I'm ready to deal with all of that shit with masculine energy, and it's not going to go your way. And it's going to be bad for us total. Because if it don't go your way, by proxy, it's not going to go my way, and it don't go our way. But when you meet me with femininity about something, then it's like, then you just handle me. It's like you come, just like when we was playing in the room and I was bothered about something and I was about to chuck your ass across the bed. And what you do, grab me and kiss me. You grab me and kiss me and you hit me with femininity. If you tried to go with some shit like, raw, we going to wrestle, you would have been on your neck. You would have been on the bed upside down, feet hanging off the damn headboard. Like, what happened? But you met me with femininity, and it's like, that's your superpower. Don't try to outman me, and I can't try to out feminine you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, we can go into it. And I think like the world's getting so confused about things because now we done like our social structure done got so crazy that it's like everything that's supposed to be masculine or everything that we thought was masculine is like now everything's toxic masculinity. To a point where it's like, what's a man supposed to do? But what a woman tell him to do. And then if we do that, y'all be sick our ass anyway. Like, I don't want a weak ass man around.
I think that goes both ways, though. I think that goes both ways.
I don't think it goes both ways. I think it's a cycle because the world's going to balance itself. As men get more feminine, women are going to get more masculine. As women get more masculine, men are going to get more feminine.
And then
you're going to grow a dick and I'm going to grow a vagina. That's what's going to happen if we let the world go that way. Like,
huh?
You're going to have a big what? You're going to have a big ass hole in your chest. Because we believe in the Second Amendment. Yeah, we ain't playing that shit. But yeah, so when you get into that's really genuinely what I feel like it come down to is like, we're sitting here and we're just finding a reason like, ooh, look, bullet point. Well, okay, cool. So people bitching. At the end of the day, what it comes down to is men bitching about spending money, and women are a lot of times wrongly taking men's money under the guise of like, well, you should just do it out the kindness of your heart. We have to do it. We have to do it to get y'all attention. And I don't want to hear that shit about, oh, well, there's a woman who could do this and that. Well, guess what? Every one of y'all that got fucked over, there's some fucking dude sitting there who doesn't make the amount of money and not built like y'all want and everything else that would treat y'all a whole lot better. But y'all don't want him, just like we don't want her. We attract
our choices.
Yeah, it's about our choices, like our choices. So unfortunately, people who have things going for themselves aren't willing to work as much. It's like when people have a talent in a sport. It's like, oh, well, I'm the best shooter in the world. Well, why should I worry about defense and all this other shit? I'm the best shooter in the world. That's going to carry me. Look at me. Look what I could do shooting. This and that, da, da, da. What makes people great is to be like, yo, I got this and that going on, and I'm still going to work to get better. Even a lot of the cool things that we have, personality traits, they come as a coping mechanism. Like, if I was gorgeous, I wouldn't be making any jokes. Fuck so funny. I'm beautiful. Like, fuck you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck so funny. I'm beautiful. Like, you're going to laugh at my jokes anyway. You know why? Because I'm beautiful. Like, when people laugh at beautiful women's jokes, I ain't met a funny 10 yet. Like, you just look at the average woman that somebody be like, yo, she is definitely a 10. She ain't doing stand-up.
No.
She ain't doing no goddamn stand-up. You look at the funniest comedians you know. Bill Burr is not a looker. Dave Chappelle is not shutting down the room when he walk in, except for the fact that he Dave Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? So these are coping mechanisms and things that we brought to make ourselves more attractive. You know what I mean? So it's a double standard. We need to understand the double standard and embrace the double standard and embrace our differences. Like, we talk about
some double standards that you embrace or have not embraced.
The double standard that if you hit me, it's not a relationship ender. If I hit you, it's a relationship ender because you're going to be dead.
Okay, so you embrace that.
I understand. It's not so much embrace. I understand it is what it is. Like, if you hit me, I'm not going to leave you. Okay. But if I hit you, I mean, you're going to get the same coloring book for Hanukkah every year because you're going to be retarded. But I mean,
don't nobody like you. Okay?
But I mean, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, it's like, that's not acceptable. It's certain things that are just different. I understand that you're going to be a brat. I don't get to have these like just flat out brat moments. I understand that we have to like deliver information differently. Like, there's a different way to explain information. There's differences between us, and the things that we just have to accept. And it ain't even just like a male and female thing. It's who you're dealing with. Like, we're just not the same person. We would not make it with the same person. No. Like, you couldn't deal with the male version of you.
Oh no, not at all.
Like, a motherfucker that act just like you with a dick, y'all wouldn't make it past the first date. And you give me a girl that act like me, we squaring up. We square young ma'am. Young ma'am.
Ryan said, damn double standards.
Damn double standards. I mean, it is what it is, though.
But what it should be then, Ryan? Give me an example of what you're talking about.
There's no way to even it. Like, there's no way to even it. It's just not natural. Like, even when you look at like when you look at these egalitarian countries and stuff like that, and you look, like, for instance, when we talk about like STEM and like when we're in the house, we call ourselves I'm STEM and you're ELA when it comes down to the kids' homework. Now, this is not saying that women aren't capable of STEM fields. That's just saying that, like, they haven't shown a whole lot of interest. We could say it's like, oh, well, if they had more access to it, then they would be more involved. And that's the argument that people make. But all the countries who do give everybody access and are as close to 50-50 as possible, that's close to 50-50 as possible, guess what? It's still 80. The numbers went the other way. It's more men in STEM. It's like 80-20. and then it's 80-20 for like nursing fields, because naturally women care more about people and men care more about things. That's why even naturally more boys, and we're blaming on, well, it's the advertising and more boys will play with dolls and this and that, whatever. Fucking psychology begs to differ with your Twitter fucking arguments, right? But like actual psychologists will put it, boys are just more interested in playing with cars and fire. I mean, look at our 6-year-old.
Yeah,
he wants cars and fire trucks. He's in a house full of fucking girls besides me, because all the other boys are big except Titan and on the left. And the only thing that he wants to play with is cars and trucks. Nobody's forcing that shit on him. Right. He chose cars and trucks. He has 2 big sisters in the house. You know what I'm saying?
He had a
mom.
Play with
tried to get him to play with everything that he have, and he ain't interested. He want to play with cars. He want to play with scooters. He want to play with. It's just he's into things, and women tend to be into people. So we need to just accept that that's what it is. We're different, and the problem that happens when we're different and we don't want to acknowledge it is that we want to find where the double standards don't fit us, but we okay with the double standards benefit us.
That's true, but that's nature too.
Yeah, that's nature. Yeah. But that's
our own benefit.
That's nature. So what I'm saying is, we're not going to change the nature of the double standard and things being different between men and women. But what we could do is accept it and stop bitching about the things that don't work in our favor, because there's something equally as fucking crazy on the other end of that.
The thing that's most troubling is when we constantly have these battles of the sexes when it comes to relating with one another.
I think the thing about the battle of the sexes and the thing about relating is just, like we said, we don't see the worth as much in each other. Because a perfect example is like, and I know a lot of people hate Andrew Tate, but he was talking about, and I played it to you the other day when he was talking about it, when he was in a room full of women, predominantly women, and he was talking in a room full of women who was up to like, oh, well, I just want to go out and I want to get Louis bags and I'm getting money and I'm living my best life and I don't need a man and I don't need this and that and I don't want to have no kids. And he like, yo. Because they was like disrespecting the idea of like homemakers, like women who are homemakers and stay-at-home moms and this and that. And he was up to like, my grandmother had a 93rd birthday or a 90th birthday or some shit like that. And he was like, yo, she had 9 kids, my dad being one of them, obviously, and 8 others. And it was 7, and all the grandkids were there, grandkids, great-grandkids, the whole 9 and stuff like that. And you're talking about a woman who's in a room with 70 sentient beings who don't give a fuck how many Louis bags she had, don't give a fuck what her job was. They're all celebrating her for her being a phenomenal woman, mother, and wife. Like, that's what she's being celebrated for. Because I think a lot of times what we don't think is like, well, two mistakes that we make is we look at women in the past and think like, oh, well, they were unhappy because they don't have all the stuff I had. Okay, then why the fuck are you unhappy? Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, do you honestly think that today, with all the feminism and rights and everything else, do you think that women are way more happier than women were? And
so that's kind of hard to say because a lot goes into play with that. So again, we can go back to talking about an era where the job force the workforce wasn't filled with women. Like now we have more opportunities to do certain jobs, certain things, right? So that's one. And then to be whomever we choose to be, that kind of had a cap on it then, So that's why I brought up the point of, I could say now, not every homemaker wanted to be a homemaker. So when you're a child, you grow up, you have dreams of what you're seeing. You want to be an entertainer. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a doctor. You have these aspirations to do these things. But when you're unable to do those things then versus now, I think that's a big, you can't really.
Okay. So over the last, this is one of the things where a perfect example of a double standard that's funny, right? Is that women will fuss about certain jobs, right? Like that men hold certain jobs and stuff like that, right? And talk about the wage gap, which there's about 15, 20 things that easily affect the wage gap. But the only thing we assess to it is like, well, I'm male and you're female, right? Which is just an asinine proportion of just taking an isolated statistic like that and taking one portion of it. It's crazy. But we sit here and talk about it like, okay, y'all have the opportunity to have jobs and do this and that. Cool. But then y'all fuss about, well, it's only X amount of women that's running the Fortune 500 companies and this, that, and the third. And that's not fair. And it's a patriarchy and this and that. Well, you know what? It's not a lot of fucking coal miners that are women. There's not a lot of fucking roofers. There's not a lot of asphalt layers. There's not a lot of women in construction. I don't see women beating down the door for that shit.
But that's not what we were talking about.
So what I'm saying is like now y'all got the opportunity to do any job that a man does. And women still fill a lot of stereotypical ass jobs like healthcare.
So you asked me if women are more happier now than back then, and or in a different era, and I'm just telling you that it's hard to compare because there were different limitations.
Okay,
so now it's like we have no limitations, right?
Yeah. So my thing is, if limitations were the things that made women so unhappy then y'all should be really fucking happy now. But the point of the matter is, I don't think that women are substantially happier. I don't know if they're. If I had to bet, like gun in my head, if I had to bet, I would say that women are unhappier now than they were then. And I'm talking about if you took the healthy relationships. I'm not talking because there's abusive relationships now, just like it's abusive relationships then. I'm talking about if you take successful relationships. I feel like in general, I can't say that it's either even or women are less happy, because I feel as though if you said that all of these things restricted you from happiness, and now all of these things are moved, because realistically, what are we fighting for with feminism right now? So, like in general, like just to make that clear, so I understand the point of the argument. What are we fighting for with feminism right now?
So
what can women not do that we can do?
Well, it's just the earning gap for now, from my experience, from what I see.
So my own experience. So the earning gap? Okay, so that's a really big thing to talk about. So when we talk about that earning gap, which earning gap are we talking about? We talking
about an earning gap. We were talking about the happiness of women, right?
Okay, yeah, let's knock that first. You're right.
So the happiness of women, and I'm telling you about the limitations and everything. So you just said they're happier now, but what are you? What? How do you get there to say, okay, women are happier now? Are you measuring it? Happier now. You said you feel like they are.
No. I feel the other way. Yeah, I feel like it's either even or they're less happy.
So now my thing is, what are you using to measure that? Are you using? That's why when you mention things about the relationships. So are you using because they don't have the healthy relationship that you think you saw or read about or hear about or see in movies or?
I'm just making assumptions based off the little that I know.
Okay.
So it's not
then let's start.
So what I know for sure is that every relationship wasn't color purple. Like women, like a lot of times women make the argument out to be
Sealy color purple.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
yeah. Like I'm talking about every relationship wasn't color purple, because we just act like, because like you hear, and as a man, you hear this shit constantly about women saying like, oh, well, men are oppressing women. It's like, you think these fucking Chilean miners are oppressing women? So it's kind of like you hear this shit over and over and over and over again. And it's like, how the fuck are you oppressing? Like, you're talking about a very small percentage of men. So, and this is the crazy shit about statistics when you deal with it. Like, you're talking about men run the world. 1% of men run the world. Like, less than 1%. So you're talking about 1%. The other 99% of us, we have no fucking way to oppress you if we wanted to. So we're talking about 1% of men. So we hear this shit and we think about it, and we just don't understand a lot of times when a woman is say like, oh, well, women had it so bad back then. It's like, so do you have it good now? Like, what more do you require for it to be good? Because it's like, you couldn't vote. Now you can vote. You still have things like you're not in certain combat units. You're not usually on the front line. You're not doing the like, oh my God, physically tedious jobs. Like we're talking about like bricklayers. I'm talking about like manually intensive fucking jobs. Women are historically still not doing them. So it's like, what more is it going to take to be like, oh, well, that's good? Because we talk about the wage gap, and the wage gap argument is realistic. When you break it down to brass tacks, is bullshit.
So you just said that women we're earning this. Well, we have the option to have more jobs, and we're not having the limitations as our predecessors, right? As our predecessors. But my thing is, so if you feel like that, then why do you still feel like women are less happier than they were then?
Because like I'm at the same mercy of the media that I see, that you see. I just see a bunch of women bitching about men and not being happy. Like,
and what makes you think that the women then were happy?
What I'm saying is, I don't know. I just have a strong feeling that all of them weren't unhappy. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I know
So
more
you feel
women.
like all of them are unhappy now?
No, I just say that it's
Oh.
more in my face now. It's kind of like violence, right? Like right now, it's more in my face than it was 20, 30 years ago. Like there was people still. Hey yo, what you saying, Brian? Well, don't worry. I'm on my Lil Wayne shit. Don't worry about what's in my cup. You know what I'm saying? It's a cranberry juice. But yeah. So what I'm saying is like I see it now. Like it's hard for me to compare it to then. It's kind of like the same way that Post was. It's like the audacity to say about, oh well, women were so unhappy then, because I think too many women nowadays are very disrespectful of their predecessors.
I agree with that.
Like I think that women look at women who were homemakers, they look at women who just stayed at home, raised their kids, and did all this other shit, and they look at it and they're just like, oh, well, she was a slave, but she was this and that. Like you're talking about your fucking grandmother, who's the only reason that both of us are here.
Alive. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we're alive, that she made a sacrifice and was well vested in our kids. Like even if we go back to like tribal type of days when men were out doing a bunch of wild shit, this, that, and the third, the women were teaching the children. Like it's a very responsible and a noble thing that women did. And too many women today look at that shit as if it's disrespectful. And that's one of the biggest gripes that I have with a lot of shit that women say now about women of the past. Like, oh, well, they were this. Like everybody wasn't fucking Miss Sealy. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wasn't Miss Sealy and you know what I'm saying, getting thumped by Mr. And not being able to speak their mind or this and that. Like this is a new phenomenon. So I feel as though that we don't have enough, like I feel that women don't have enough respect for their predecessors.
But do you think that comes from women not being shown the right images of what it was on both sides? Just like someone would say, even about slavery, let's just say, just to go over that briefly. We're talking about all the images we see are the horrendous things that happen. So we have this mindset of, oh, back then, this is all that took place, you know? So with women, it will be the same thing. We see how, you know, the oppression of women have went from this stage to this stage to this stage to this, and now we're here.
Let me make sure, I'm not trying to cut you off. Let me make sure that I understand what you're saying while I'm trying to formulate this thought. So you're saying like, is the reaction and the thought process that women have because of what's been portrayed to them, vice actual facts and statistics, right, but the things that the media and everything else has portrayed.
That's right.
If that's what you're saying, I think that is a huge factor. But the thing about it is what I'm trying to do with correcting that in the most basic form for me is just showing that everything isn't like that, right? So a lot of times we get heated up with arguments and stuff like that because we don't have all the information. Now, when it comes down to the past, we're never going to have all the information because we just weren't alive then, right? So we have to make some assumptions based off the best knowledge we have available, right? And so that's just, it is what it is. We can't do anything about that. But what I'm saying is like, it's certain things that people make arguments about that don't get questioned. And when they do get questioned, is met with backlash. Like, for instance, when we was talking about the wage gap, right, the wage gap thing is bullshit because it's like, all right, so it's a wage gap for what age? Now, if you look at the statistics for women who are like, between like 40, it's like either 41 to 46, or basically women in their 40s that aren't married with kids, they out earn their male counterpart. Nobody has an issue with that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like there's certain things that happen in a job. Like when we talked about a job where it's like, if we work at a firm, you get pregnant, you go on bed rest, and then you take your maternity leave. You do all that. This whole time I've been at the firm working, it's no way they should promote you over me. I've been working and earning a company money. You haven't. You shouldn't be penalized or fired. But you also shouldn't get a promotion before me because I was there. The best ability is availability.
Well, it depends on what it is the firm is looking for. But if you do outwork that person.
What I'm saying is I obviously outwork you if you're not there. Like if you're not working.
Well, it depends because there's a different quality or standards of work, right? Just because you're there doesn't mean you do the type of job that I do.
Well, I'm talking about
not equal to mine.
Well, what I'm saying is that let me put another way. You got two people. You're a boss. You have two people. One person is at work every day, never miss a day. They're there. Other person misses a lot of days, but's a better worker. They're more talented than everything else. When it comes down for promotion, who are you promoting?
Listen, it depends. And it depends on why. Why was this person not there? Is it because of their work ethic they're not there? Or is it because of a valid reason, which is, oh, she had to go bust a baby out. You know what I'm saying? Like, come
But,
on.
but what I'm saying is like, even using that extreme, if I'm there working and you're not, that's crazy to promote you over me.
I don't think it's crazy.
And I'm talking about something like we're doing a job where you couldn't do it from home. Like you're just fucking off work and you're gone. Let's say you go on bed rest last trimester. So you take them 3 and then you take another 3 on the back end after the baby, which I think you should have, because I don't think mothers should be just pumping out babies on Monday and going back to work on Tuesday. I think that's asinine. I 100% agree that mothers should be compensated and that we should look at it, because men and women are fucking different. I don't need as much paternity leave as you need maternity leave, because your body went through a whole bunch of crazy ass changes. I'm just a little sleep deprived. But what I'm saying is, if somebody's there doing the job, the best ability is availability. It just is what it is. It don't matter. Like if we play basketball and you're the most talented person in the game, you're the most talented person in the game, but you only play 10 games this season. I play 82. I average 20 points. You average fucking 35 when you play. The point of the matter is, it's like when the time comes and shit like that, it's like, who's the better?
But that's a different scenario. So they're gonna go for, obviously, for who's more dependable, right? Yeah. But she's not popping out babies every other Wednesday.
No, but when you go for who's more dependable, you're doing it during the time frame. So if this is the 22-23 season, you don't play. I do play. They can't give you MVP. Like they can't give you MVP. I
disagree with that.
So how do you get MVP? So we're playing basketball, volleyball, pick a sport. You don't play most of the season. I play the entire season and I play well.
We're not talking about we're talking about women having babies in the workplace. That's going to be different from every single scenario you.
No, it's not, because
no,
it's not, because I'm talking about a time frame. I'm not talking about the withstand of everything. You're looking at a 10-year period. You're trying to collapse it and just subtract this one time. I'm talking about in a 1-year period.
If my work ethic supersedes you, my absence is detrimental to the company, or okay, so either one of those. Why would they promote you instead of waiting until I come back to get my promotion that's rightfully mine? Because I can outwork you, spin circles around you when I'm in office. And it's not like this is a valid reason why I'm out of office right now.
Because if the promotions happen within a time frame, so say this is a yearly time frame for a promotion, I should get that promotion instead of you. Because during that year, I punched out more work than you in that year.
You punched out more work, but was it quality work?
Yeah, so let's say it was quality work. Let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a fucking 8 and you're a 10, but you worked 6 months that year and I worked a year. If you did the math on that, like let's say for instance we produced cups.
I don't know. Y'all in the chat, what y'all think about that?
So if we produce cups, you produce a cup that's a 10. I produce a cup that's an 8, 8.5. You're substantially, obviously better than me. But the point of the matter is, those 6 months that you weren't there, for the 3 months, and I'm talking about an example for the 3 months that you was on bed rest, and then the 3 months afterwards or whatever that you took maternity, those 6 months, I made more fucking cups.
We don't do that. That's not how it goes. So you only get what, like 90 days or something like that?
90 days or 3 months.
Or right. You said 3 months in bed rest, then 3 months after that. For that's 6 months. Like nobody taking that.
But that's the
long maternity leave. I wish.
That's not maternity. But do you think that if a woman gets put on bed rest that they should be fired? If it's a job that they can't go to, should they be fired?
No, so what happens is they go on short-term disability. So some organizations will hold your place for you until you get back. Others will reposition you, or some will let you go.
Okay, so if they hold your place, when promotions come up later, do you think that you should get promoted before me if you're a 10 and I'm an 8?
Yes. They ain't stopped. No.
So this is a yearly promotion, and I produced more than you this year because you weren't there. And you still think that you should
I weren't there?
Because you weren't there.
What do you mean? Like I just chose not to be there?
No, it's not about choosing. It doesn't matter why you weren't there. You weren't there. The fact of the matter is, let's say we put out one thing a day. We produce 1 unit of whatever the fuck you want to say a day, right? So I printed out, and let's say we worked every day, no days off. So I printed out 365 things this year. And then we'll take 180 of that from you.
I don't know. Oh, are you guys hearing us in the chat? Can you see us in the chat? Can your comments come up? Can you type a 1 or a hi or something like that in the chat? Someone's having problems with commenting.
I'll check the
Let me type something and see what's going on in here. Let's see.
I said
You see a comment?
Yeah, I see him up. So it should, let me slide this up. Why is it? I don't know why it's not coming up. It's coming up in mine though. So
Okay.
So Z said when it was illegal for women to work, a lot of them had to stay in bad relationships because they starved without a man. But now women can provide. So I agree that was an extreme of what happened, and that's a terrible thing. I'm not saying that that's okay, but what I'm saying is that wasn't every relationship. Every woman wasn't held in a basement and just barefoot and pregnant doing this. Like, we can't make these assumptions that like every woman is like, women just were just flat out mistreated. Nobody had good relationships because men had power, because men are inherently evil.
Well, no, so that's not the thing. I don't think she's saying that it's because that we were held in whatever hostage, right? It even if you look back, excuse me, overseas and even back in that era, right? So
overseas where?
Let's go to Africa.
Oh, okay.
All right. So women there, they don't work, they don't do all these things, so they don't have the education. Didn't have the education, I should say. Didn't work, didn't do all these things that we do now, that our modern women do now, right? And the men there was their primary way of being taken care of, right? All right. So now that they're not able to do these things, now the difference is that when they're able to do these things, we don't need the men's support as much, right? They needed it then. That was their only way they were going to survive.
Yeah.
All right. So and if you want to take it up a little bit, go further in the years. So if you're still in a situation where you have a woman who maybe does not have access to education, right? Who can't get a job or not allowed to work, whatever the situation may be for that time period, how is she going to survive and support themselves? Of course, she wants better for herself. To say that she didn't is crazy. We all want better for ourselves. Like I said, when we're children, we have aspirations of being this, and this.
Well, I think we want better for ourselves when we're not happy with our situation.
Right. So of course we're not.
So what I'm saying is, do like, can we just put to bed that all women were unhappy, and at that time, can we just put that to bed just to make a clear statement that all women were unhappy at that time?
What do you mean put to bed? Put to bed which way?
Put it to bed as in that's not true that all. No, like put it to bed like that's a bullshit statement that all women were unhappy.
All no, I would not say all. I would almost dare to say most. Because just the fabric of women now, I don't see us, because just like men, we want to learn, we want to grow, we want to do things. We have desires and aspirations. So I definitely think that we will want to do more than just be whatever was expected of us.
All right, this is the best way I could put this about why this is a loop around argument about it. So this is the best way I could put this. Women have gotten their independence. Feminism right now is not, in my opinion, feminism right now is a hijack thing. Like the feminism that y'all thought it was, or the movement it was before, it's not that anymore. Feminism right now is like an undercover way to hate men nowadays. That's what feminism is, because there's nothing.
So that's your opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion. But there's nothing that I can do. There's nothing that I can do that you can't do except be a Navy SEAL. In fact, you can be a Navy SEAL. You just won't make the fucking cut.
I'm about to say, why couldn't be a Navy SEAL?
No, you could be a Navy SEAL. You just won't make the fucking cut.
Why I won't make the cut?
Because they don't have men and women standards. They have SEAL standards. It's one standard.
So you're not saying women won't meet SEAL standards?
I'm just saying women haven't. Like that's not the women who have tried have failed miserably. It's not I'm trying to knock women. It's just the fact that like if we were physically the same, then we should have unisex sports. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a reason why we have a men's 100 and a women's 100, because the women wouldn't fucking qualify for the men's 100. I mean, and you know that as a track runner, like a previous track runner, you know that it's just different, right?
The physiology of us, yes.
Yeah, the physiology is different. Your hips spread. You're physically made. There are physical restrictions on your body, the way it's made, so that your hips can spread to have children. That makes you run slower than me if everything else is equal, right? So with that, it's just like we're like, with that said, we're different. So even when we talk about like what were we talking about, like the wage gap argument, the wage gap argument is we got a comment from Z. The wage gap is mainly in high corporate America and entertainment. Okay. So let's talk about some other reasons that, because this is what people just want. People just see that there's a issue and just assume that there's one factor. And that's a asinine way to look at things, because it's like you're assuming that there's one factor. There's only one reason that this is the way it is. Okay. Are we taking into consideration about like women predominantly don't go into certain fields that make a lot of money? Like there's a lot of fields that women just don't go to. Like the STEM field is still very void of women, and it's not an exposure thing because it's been proven wrong by egalitarian societies. So
not a lot of women then. So not a plethora of women. There are some women that go. So the way you're saying it is as if there aren't any women that go into that field.
I'm not saying that that's the way you're taking it. I'm saying, why don't they go into the field? I don't know.
Well, there are women that goes into the field. They do go into the field.
Yeah, but
not as much as you would like.
No, I don't give a fuck how many. I want women to do whatever makes them happy is the point. But what I'm saying is, when you go, you can do whatever makes you happy. You're just not going to do it with me.
You don't want me.
I want you to be happy. I want you to be happy if it's not with me. Just duck when you see me.
Oh my God. By the way.
Just duck when you see me. You can be happy.
Anyway.
And get a dude who can fight. Make sure that your new man can fight.
It always got to be about having somebody. It's the ego.
I got a big ego.
Yeah, you do.
But I mean, your ego is just as big as mine. We're not even going to do that. The female ego is retarded. So just think about this.
We're going to talk about egos next podcast.
We can go back. We done talked about egos, and what comes down to it is that the women ego is ridiculous because y'all can't accept rejection either. When y'all get rejected, that shit's like, you going to say no to me in this magic portal?
Because that's what it is.
You know how much SEMO. Okay, cool. Guess what? She got a magic portal. She got a magic portal. She got a magic portal.
She don't have the.
So the point of the matter about like what I was saying earlier about to skip all of this. The thing that makes this a round and round argument is that women have gotten to a point where it's like, I need men for this, that, and the third. These are the only reasons I think that I need a man. Now that I can do this for myself, I don't need a man. Well, guess what? Men are starting to get to that same point, and this is what happens with it. It's like women lost a. Oh no, I thought you said something. So women are getting to a point where they're like, oh, well, I don't I mean, women have got to that point where they're like, well, I don't need a man, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. Well, what happens is the adverse reaction of like men don't see a need for themselves to be there for women because it's like, well, she don't need me anyway. Because at the end of the day, think about this. In a relationship, we both want to feel wanted, right? We want to feel needed, right? You like the idea, you like to know that I need you, right? Mm-hmm. I like to know that you need me as well. If you show and make it really clear that you don't need me, well, I have a yearn to be needed, just like you have a yearn to be needed. And when I show you that I don't need you and I display that I don't need you, you want to feel Ned like this past tense, my dumb ass. But you're gonna have a feeling to be needed, right? And guess what? You can get that feeling right there with the kids. For me,
you can get that feeling with your kids.
They're not here. So
it don't matter if they're here.
It does. Proximity is everything. So it don't matter if I'm here. Then I need you. I just need you from this job I'm about to take in Brazil. All right, then.
Kids need you from afar, please.
Need me. I'm going to Brazil. But what I'm saying, so it's like women have got to that point where it's like, I don't need them. I don't need them. I don't need them. That's the only thing I need them for. Like the only thing we need them for is sex, and that shit ain't even that good. And the only thing we need them for is to have kids, and that ain't even whatever.
Wait, I'm gonna stop you there because that's not what woman said that. Who said that to you? What woman have you heard say that to a man?
Oh, I've heard it many times.
Where? Because that's not our thought process.
That's not your thought process.
We don't say, I only need you, just for sex, and that's it. Like
no, y'all make it clear. Y'all don't say y'all need us because y'all don't need us for sex either. I got a fucking roles and everything else. So what I'm saying is, women have got rid of the need of men for multiple reasons. Like, well, I don't need them. I don't need them. I don't need them. But the difference is like understanding the difference between like when you make somebody not feel wanted, they don't want to be there. Like, I don't want to be in your life if you don't need me. I want to be in a woman's life that needs me, and I want to need her.
Okay, so now there's different way of being. There are different ways to being needed.
Can I finish my statement?
Which way you're needed?
Can I finish my statement, please?
Yes, you finish your statement.
Yes. So what I'm saying is what's happening now is men are getting to the point now where a lot of men are like, well, guess what? I don't need you, because this is what we get back to. We don't see the value. Women stop seeing the value in men. almost as a culture. So they don't see the value in men. It's like, well, this motherfucker ain't making enough money to do this, that, and the third, and what the fuck I need him for? If he ain't making more money than me, and it's society that I want to be perfectly equal, but somehow he's still supposed to make more money than me. If he's not making more money than me and doing this, that, and the third, can't do all of this other shit, then I don't want him. Well, men are looking at it too, where it's like, well, what the fuck do I need you for? It's like, are you going to, it's like clean. I can hire
some women.
Yeah. We're talking about what the problem is right now. We're not talking about like if this is a total everybody situation, right? And then a lot of a certain number of men, however we want to say this so that people don't get offended and think like, well, it's not everybody, it's not this and that, whatever. You get what the fuck I'm trying to say. But we got men who are like, oh, well, what can a woman do for me? I make all the money, I do this and that, what are you going to do for me? Besides, and if a man don't want to have kids, let's say a man don't want to have kids, then it's like, okay, I want to have sex. I can pay for that. I want food. I can pay for that. I want my house clean. I can pay for that. These are all services. Is this the same way a woman looks at it when she's like, what can a man do? Oh, you're going to fix the sink? I can pay for that. You know what I'm saying? You could do
get it for free.
Or you can get it for free doing some shit.
Joe crossed the street was looking at me, and I know he gonna want to.
But guess what? And that's a perfect example of like, it's okay that you want to use him because you don't want to spend money, but it's not right when he decided he wants some ass because you had to fix 5 or 6 things.
I'm giving him time, so he's fixing my shit. He's gonna fix what's under my sink. And
is that what y'all call it now?
It's time. So we're gonna talk and we're gonna whatever.
And you think
that he's lonely? Okay, good.
So
let's
you
even exchange. Let's go.
That's the even exchange for you?
Yes, that's even exchange. I'm talking to you. I'm giving you attention while you're fixing my sink. Okay, now the job is done. It was great to meet you, Joe.
So that's a fair exchange. I'm just asking you. That's a fair exchange.
For me, it is.
Okay.
Why is my coochie equal to sink fixing? Why?
Okay. So
why? Doesn't.
So and if that's the case, no, I'm not saying that your coochie is sink fixing. But if you're going to use that logic, then why is your coochie more than just getting than the dick you getting? Because a man can say the same thing about that. Like,
what do you mean?
Well, like a man can say the same thing. Like, that's the even exchange. Just having sex in general is the even exchange. Why do I have to take you to dinner and do everything else? Me fucking you is just as an even exchange. I am giving you pleasure. You're giving me pleasure.
Who said it was pleasure?
But no, who said your conversation?
Every man.
Okay, cool. Who said your conversation was pleasure?
Well, so then now we need to speak up then.
Okay. Then.
What we need. What do we need?
And guess what?
Let's have our needs.
Okay,
met.
Guess what? And when the man says his needs about he wants to go further, he wants to do this and that. The thing about he wants to go further with you. Like, say he's interested in you and want to be in a relationship with you, and you're like, I don't want that shit, this and that. Well, why the fuck am I fixing your sink and doing something that I can get paid for? I am basically paying you for. I am basically giving you a service that I could get paid for free.
So why don't you be transparent with what it is?
And when
you're giving me the service not for free, in hopes of either being with me, getting ass, or whatever it is that you want. So you want some kind of exchange.
How about don't be naive and think that you are so fucking pretty or so nice or so entertaining or your conversation is so fire that a dude is going to give away something that he makes $50, $60 an hour for. Anywhere else is giving it away for free. How about
don't lie or don't be.
He's not lying.
Yes, he is lying.
How is he lying?
Because he's omitting the fact that he's not doing it for, oh, I'm just a genuine caring person. No, he's doing it for some ass. So why don't we just be transparent with what it is that we doing it for?
So why don't y'all be transparent and just tell a dude, I just want to fuck with you to go because you take me out to eat. Well, I just want to fuck with you because I need my bills paid. I just want to fuck with you because I need my sink fixed.
How about say? So there's a different way to say that.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Listen, what do you want? Well, I want some ass. Well, I got some bills that need to be paid, and or I want your companionship. I want to be entertained. I want to go. We are adults. We should be able to say whatever it is that we desire, whatever it is that we want.
Okay, so
without being scared.
So I agree.
I agree. I
agree.
I think
do you think that women do that?
Just scary.
Do you feel like women do that?
I feel like we do exactly what the leaders do. That's what I feel. You
go.
Want to be a leader, right? So teach me the right way in which I should go. Do that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so then when we try to teach y'all the right way that y'all go and you don't like it, then what do you say?
What do you mean? Give me an example, because I don't know one.
Give an example. Okay, for instance, don't talk to me like that. I don't like the way you talk to me. I don't like my woman to talk like that. And then what you said, because when a man tells you what he wants from you, a lot of times y'all look at this shit like it's controlling.
Okay.
Like when a man says, don't wear that. I'm telling you, don't wear that when you go out with your girlfriends, because when the dude grab your titty or something like that or do some wild shit to you because the savages out there, now wait, you going to want me to do something about it. Now I got to go put my life on the line because your dumb ass decided to go out there with half a titty out in a damn pasty on there like you a stripper.
Okay, so how about when you communicate, you're going to communicate all the way, right? You don't tell me like I'm your child, hey, don't wear that. No, you're going to say, babe, I don't think you should wear that because
so you think every time a man says that, that's met with,
or you can say don't wear that, but this is why you're not gonna wear that XYZ.
And you think that works successfully?
Let yes, because nobody does it. If you do it, then I'm sure the person be like, oh yeah, you're probably right. That's crazy though, but all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah, you know I can
literally, they don't see, but listen, they don't see. You guys never say or let us see the why behind how it affects you.
So, okay? so since y'all don't,
damn, we sexy as hell.
Okay,
we
cool.
Thinking about how it's going to affect you at that time.
Cool. So since you don't understand the question, and this is a perfect example of men and women where we don't understand it, because when you talk to a man, if I say something to a man and the man doesn't understand it, you know what a man's going to do? Tell me that he doesn't fucking understand it. That's what I expect from a man.
I don't understand how I didn't understand your question. So I'm telling you that.
So it's up in like, no, but the crazy shit about that, this is what I'm gonna tell you why that's a bald-faced lie. Wow. Because right now, you used to be that woman that would say like, wow, and you'll say some shit, and then I explain to you. Now, when I say something to you and you don't understand, what do you say? Babe, I don't understand why you feel that way.
We didn't have that problem before. So I don't know.
No, like I'm just saying, if I say something to you that you didn't understand, you wouldn't say it. You would be like, well, why don't you just tell me like this and that? And I would tell you, why don't you just fucking tell me you don't understand? Because I don't understand everything that you don't understand. So if I see that you don't understand it and I just see confusion here, I see deer in the headlights, I will address it. But if I don't see deer in the headlights and you tell me like, well, I get it, and then you go not do what the fuck I asked you to do and we agreed upon, then that's the issue. So the thing is like, if you don't understand something, what do you say now? Babe, I don't get it. You just tell me straight up, babe, I don't get it. And then I further explain.
No, so to say is what I'm saying. To say to a woman, you're not wearing that.
No, I didn't say not wearing that. I don't want you to wear that. I don't want you to wear that. And
now you give a because and like, okay, like that's crazy. Ain't that shit ain't gonna happen?
If I say don't,
that's what we're gonna say.
If I say I don't want you to wear that, if I say I don't want you to wear that, and I don't give you an explanation, that is a fault on me. It's also a fault on you for not saying why instead of just catching a fucking attitude. Because at the end of the day, what are we trying to do? Are we trying to make our relationship work, or are we trying to establish dominance? I failed because I didn't explain something to you. So yeah. So in return, you're going to fail back.
No, it just depends on whoever it is, however you take it. So some people like, okay,
that's a double failure.
Whatever.
It ain't no if, ands, or buts. It's a double failure. If I fucking do something wrong and you don't correct me, yeah. If I do something wrong and you don't correct me, I'm the captain of the ship. You're the navigator. Mm-hmm. If I decide, hey, we're going left, you see a glacier over there, and you like, well, if he want to go left, he could just go left. I ain't gonna ask somebody going left. He should add this and that. I don't understand why he going left, so I just ain't gonna say that. Well, guess what? We on the Titanic, and now we sitting out here in this cold ass ice water.
Communication takes a long time for people to develop, so it will behoove both sexes to not think that their spouses is coming at them in a defensive way.
I agree.
I'm sorry, in an antagonizing way. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
For us to be on the defense.
Yeah, and a lot of that's projected. You're right.
It's both of the people in the relationship, both partners' responsibility to understand and to have in the mindset that your partner is on your team. They're not trying to attack you. Hopefully, right?
Hopefully, yeah, it should be.
We hope that they're not trying to attack you. So instead of thinking, damn, I feel attacked when he said that or when she said that, think of maybe they didn't mean like this. What you really mean by this? And clarify.
Yeah, because I mean, think about the way we communicate about something. Like I say something, you say something, and the way we'll go about it, I'll be like, I don't like the way you said that to me. That bothered me. And then we'll have a conversation about it. And vice versa, you'll be like, babe, you ain't got to say that to me. And then I check. I don't double down and be like, nah, get that fucking work, Fox. I said what the fuck I said. I'm a man. No, you be like, I'm like, what was wrong with what I said? You're like, I just feel as though this and that, da. And I'm like, all right, boom, I can see that. I apologize for that. This is why I was bothered. Boom, 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 boom. But that communication, what I'm saying is a two-way street. We can't keep doing the thing with men and women where we just say like, well, men do this, so we do this. Because it comes to the perfect example of this. The perfect example I told you of, you have always been the like wildly more emotionally mature person in your relationships, in all your relationships. And your idea, we talked about it, your idea was, well, I know I got these problems, but I'll work on it when I need to. And now you're in a relationship with somebody who's equally as emotional mature as you. And now we both have to fucking work. So now all of that shit before about like, oh, I'm gonna work. Like, I've been working since I was a young man because I was fucked up. You, on the other hand, was, since you was at this level, you was like, well, everybody else fucked up because I'm here. I'm Allen Iverson. What fuck I need to go to practice for? I've been at practice because I wasn't as good as you. So now we meet and it's like, boom, now you got to grow. So that's what happens when you have that idea of like, oh, I'm gonna just fucking not help, or I'm not gonna do this and that. We have to help each other, and we get into these other, well, if they do this, then I do that. That's not true, because we're giving this conditional bullshit. Just like I told you about conditional femininity, where it's like, or conditional submission, where it's like, oh, I'll be feminine for the right dude. I'll be submissive for the right dude. Okay, well, I'll be masculine for the right woman. So in that case, change your own goddamn tire, change the plan, do this and that, chop that goddamn tree down, mow the grass, do all of this shit that you expect me to do, take the trash out. That is not your glass. Not your glass. But I think we could agree on that, right?
Yep.
Hold on, what you doing? You ain't got no gun in your head?
Way over time.
You ain't got no gun?
I do have a gun in here. We're going to save that for the next podcast.
We ain't doing no gun in your head, huh?
Nope. We are an hour and 11 minutes. We don't have time for anything else.
We don't got time for the dad joke?
Yeah. We could do a dad joke. I like dad jokes.
What do you call a pirate that pisses on people?
What?
R. Kelly. That's from the homie Jeff. Big homie Jeff came through with the kid. Look, you done knocked the lung out of her. Knocked the lung out of her.
That was a good one. I feel like I heard that before.
No, don't try and shit on the joke. You said it was legit. Now you coming back with that.
It's legit.
No, it was another R. You heard some other shit. Don't try and shit on Jeff joke.
Like
Jeff came through with the prosperity.
Thank you, Jeff. It's been a while with your dad jokes.
So you really no gun in your head?
More consistent, Jeff.
Well, no. Don't get Jeff started, because Jeff gonna get consistent about it. I ain't put the fucking audio out in almost 8 podcasts.
Oh yeah, I love you.
So yeah, we gonna leave that alone. So no gun in your head. We out.
We out. Thank you for sitting with us in Uncle Legend's Corner. We do appreciate the support and participation. So if you have anything to add, any segment you want to add to the podcast, or be on the podcast, hit us up at unclelegend@gmail.com. Peace.
And we can patch you in however. If you got a good enough like phone thing, just email, get in contact. We could do phone, we could do Discord, like through the internet and stuff like that. If you're in the area and we know you like that, we cool. We'll come to the crib, we'll vet you and see what's up, but don't get killed out here. But yeah, we definitely looking for guests for the podcast. Oh yeah, peace. Oh, look who recorded audio today. I'm a fucking
anyway. We are after the show, guys. What's up?
We got.
So we're not recording.
How many puppies we got? The audio stopped.
We're gonna have 3 puppies left, guys. 3.
We got
3. We have a
Milk,
Brownie,
and Nala.
Nala, yeah.
So Nala is the fawn color one that got blue eyes that look like she should be on Lion King.
So they don't know what fawn is, remember? So it'll be tan with blue eyes.
Yeah, like a tannish brown color with blue eyes. And there's a chocolate brown one.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a white and black one.
And then a white and black one with dark, big ass pupils. He look like his eyes are black. That's why, but it's not.
I think it's because
it's gray.
Well, I think it's because like
the black patch on his eye.
Yeah, actually, I forgot what the word is.
Yeah, man. Slick Rick on his eye.
Yeah, we should call him Slick Rick. Could we call him Slick Rick?
Sure, whoever gets them.
Yeah, we got 3 puppies left, man. And I'm telling you,
3 out of 10. We have 3 puppies left out of.
We still got to hold one, but
10.
We still gonna be holding one, so it'll still be 4 after this weekend.
No, we're not counting that because he already.
But he sold. He sold. Well, she sold. Grand White sold. So that'll leave us with one boy, 2 girls.
So this has been pretty quick. We put them up for good homes.
Yeah, all of them going to good homes.
Right? No, last month, November, towards the middle of November. So you're talking about in the span of like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In the span of 3 weeks.
Fox been on fire with
we've
moving these dogs.
7 puppies. And so we have 3 left. Okay. I'm trying to sell them all and have them in great homes like we have been. And
Yeah, we care more about we care more because we could sell the dogs for more, and we could like rehome them for more money. But the thing about it is, we just want to make sure they go to good homes. So it's
Yeah.
like we much rather sell them for rehome. I guess is what people say. Like we rehome for a reasonable price because realistically, like what I think people don't understand is like if you go to a shelter or something like that, you get a dog that you don't know shit about that might have been abused or whatever, and every time you put a black hat on, he try and bite your fucking ankle off or something like that. But you're gonna pay. You're gonna wind up paying $500-$600. So it's like if you're gonna pay that amount of money, you might as well get a dog that you know ain't getting abused. Like they sitting over here, they eating healthy, they doing this and that. And it makes us feel better to know that they're going to a good home. Because at the end of the day, it's like
I pray for every life of these puppies that's going to another home. I pray over their life. And I'm so happy that the homes that we found for them or who gravitated towards them are great people.
Yeah, it's been all good people.
And people that if we choose, they giving us numbers. We can call and check on them if we want to. We can visit them, even though we won't do that because we need to detach. But just to check on them, I like to check on them not every, but I check on them about 3 or 4 days after they've been rehomed just to make sure they're adjusting okay. Because if they're not adjusting okay, we can take them back.
Yeah.
That's not a problem if they're not adjusting.
And and the thing about it is, it's like it's kind of like it's just like when you invest it, you just I want to see what they look like when they grow up. Fox wants to see what they look like when they grow up. It ain't like we on some shit. We want to make sure that you're doing like we sold you the dog because we trust you.
Yeah.
And we got the good vibe. I can't say trust, but we got the good vibe.
Some people who look sketchy, we good.
Oh yeah, like when we had some people pull up to us by the Tractor Supply and they was looking at one of the dogs we had in the car and it's like, I'm about to pull up. They trying to ask a question. Nope. Nah, you looking real seedy, my brother. You know what I mean? So don't even worry about these dogs. So it's like we're not really pressed about that, but it's like we just want to see what they look like when they grow because it's a beautiful litter of dogs. Like anybody who give a fuck about dogs, if you go to Mia Fox page and look at one of those ones, because I usually share all her posts because she's been running like the photography for the dog because Fox is the photographer.
Don't do that because that's not my best work at all.
No, what I'm just saying is that I'm just saying that like you did enough to even think about like putting a pink or blue blanket under them so they know whether it's a boy or a girl. Let me tell you, I would have took a picture of them motherfuckers all in the middle of the floor and been like, look at all these dogs.
And they poop.
I'm talking about before I clean the shit up. Look, dogs. Look at the color. It'll be clean when you get it. I promise. Like.
Anyway, we after the show, guys. We just hanging out after the show.
If you're popping in, show's over.
Y'all popping in. We done. We just hanging out after the show. If you got any questions you want to ask, anything off topic, it don't really matter. We just here to answer. And right now we're just talking about the 3 puppies out of 10 that we have left because we rehomed 7 of them and we have 3 left that still needs to be rehomed. Again, y'all keep popping in. We after the show right now, and we can talk about anything you want to. You can ask questions about whatever you want. Doesn't matter. You can talk gun shit. You can talk whatever stuff you want to talk.
If you got gun shit, Fox about to get all about your questions or something like that because she loved that life. Fox is gonna
So we're gonna do that for about 2 more minutes and then we're gonna log off. So
Fox, you looking real pretty though.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You look pretty every day, but sometimes I just forget that I should tell you more often.
Somebody asked me about my skin, and they was talking about, your skin's so pretty. Blah, blah, blah.
I think it's crazy.
And I'm like, first of all, okay, let me reveal.
I wash my face in the shower.
My skin regimen.
Hey, if your skin ain't hold on, let me prepare the ladies. If your skin not popping, when Fox tell you her skin regimen, you about to be real fucking mad.
Bad. Let me tell you what this is. Okay. So first, you wake up in the morning. Okay. God give you strength. You wake up in the morning. And then you go brush your teeth, do what you gotta do. You wash your face.
Oh, how you wash your face, Fox?
Baby. Cold water. I don't care what the weather is outside. It could be frightful. Fire is so delightful. Long as you love me so, let it snow. It don't matter. The water has to be cold. You're washing your face with cold water only. Don't ask me why. It was something I saw. I don't know if
It
it was
close up your pores.
on Dr. Oz or something, but it freezes your nerves and stuff. Cold water get a shock to your system and all that. So you keep this youthful ass glow. Okay. So that's one. And the scientists probably can refute it. It don't matter, but look at me. I'm proof. So anyway, I don't wear much foundation at all. If any, like sometimes I just do like lips and eyes, but like for as far as face and all that, it's not usual that I would wear face stuff. But and then what I wash my face with, antibacterial hand soap. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no regimen. I wash my damn face.
God got
I do
favorites.
what I have to
God
do.
has favorites,
Baby.
like Bunny be saying.
Baby, favor ain't meant to be fair. Okay?
Yeah.
Favor ain't fair.
Let me tell y'all some wild shit.
That's all I'm gonna tell
Let
you.
me tell y'all some wild shit. For y'all who be thinking face moisturizers, Fox ain't got no face
No.
moisturizer. She
If
put
I
regular.
put a moisturizer on my face, I'll be glowing. Okay, like Rudolph all damn day, shiny, greasy. I can't do moisturizer. My face have to be dry like this, like dry. Even my nose is still shiny. Like my skin is oily already. So dry skin is fine. The only thing I worry about is around my mouth because I don't want to look like crackhead, right? So I might do like this. I'll get lotion and I'll do like this. Literally. That's it. With lotion. I'm dry. I'm ashy. That's what it is. There's no regimen, man. I don't use a regimen. I wash my face with antibacterial soap. That's it. It has to be antibacterial. The other stuff got too much shit in it. I want to make sure the germs off my face or as much as possible. The reason why we have all these pores clogged and oils and bumps and all that, those are germs. Those are germs. Bugs, parasites. Like, get some antibacterial soap and wash your damn face. Stop using lotion to wash your face and moisturizer and clog up pores more and all that stuff. No, don't do that. Well, you do what you want to do. I'm telling you what I'm doing. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, ain't nobody asking me about none of my regimens. I do manual labor.
For a living.
And let me tell you something. I sweat a lot. I go to the gym and I sweat. I go to the military and sweat. I go to a second job and sweat.
Oh, look at my teeth. It look like I got like blushes. I don't have no blush. I don't have no blush.
Nah, she just get that way around me.
Oh Lord. Anyway, bye. We done.
You can't even end the podcast. What you gonna do? You gonna hit the music again?
I don't know what I was gonna hit.
What you gonna do? That's not gonna do it. See?
Bye, y'all.
You don't know what you're doing. Not yet.
That was it.